Hello guys, my name is kiminekyt and I welcome you to yet another replay commentary today featuring... That's a nice name you got there, buddy. Still though, finally, the exams are over. After weeks of treacherous studying, my exams are finally over. Now give it a week and I'll forget everything I've learned throughout the past week or so. Yeah, the struggles of being a student. Still though, the Gas is playing in the Cearnarvon, which, as you might know, well, it was buffed, but not quite recently. It's at this point, it's about a year since it was buffed. If I'm correct, all of the higher tier British tanks in general were buffed about a year ago because of the fact that they were heavily underpowered and people just in general refused to play them. The only good tanks that the Brits in this game had were the Cromwell, if I'm correct, the EV-304, and a couple of other tanks. Basically, all of their good tanks were lower tiers, and plus to that, obviously, Death Star. But apart from that, most of those tanks were absolutely freaking terrible, especially like the higher tier tanks. So the Wargaming decided to just buff, nerf, and I don't know, rework a couple of higher tier tanks, and because of that, nowadays we have this absolute unit of a tank that we call Cearnarvon. Still though, right now let me pause the game for a while because I want to show you one significant thing which a Gas is doing right now. If you have ever played this map called the Cearnarvon, is it Cearnarvon? Yeah, the map called Cearnarvon. You probably do know that this map almost exclusively boils down to a stalemate over this general area, where like one team just completely entrenches themselves in this position and finds the other team which is sort of entrenched in the same kind of a manner in this position, just angling around these corners and so on and so on and so on. However, the Gas used the decent enough mobility of the Cearnarvon to get into this position from where he can use his quite decent turret armor to just deliver punishment upon the enemy team, to deliver his wrath upon the enemy team. And well, by wrath I mean the 2700 DPM that this tank has. Absolutely ridiculously good gun. It also has 220mm of penetration, if I'm correct, yeah. And the only real downside of this tank in general, if it comes to the gun at least, is the fact that it has quasi like it can really be said that only 280, but yeah, it has only 280 alpha damage. At this very moment, the Cearnarvon Action X for some reason decided to over-angle himself, allowing the Gas to put yet another shell into his side armor and then another one into his rear, finishing him off, claiming the second kill of the game. Here's the Black Prince, which is surprisingly enough the first tank to actually block one of your shells, if I'm correct. Still though, there we go, a second shell into the Black Prince. Right now, I once again want to highlight one thing, and that's that we are only 2.5 minutes into the game, and the Gas was already able to get himself 3700 damage, block 2000 damage, and assists on 2000 damage, which is absolutely ridiculous, just showing you how ridiculously powerful this tank is. Still though, the Tiger P for some reason decided to do some kind of an foolish charge into, up the hill and got himself detracked, following which the Gas's team was able to finish him off. Yep. I get no idea what the hell was the Tiger P doing over there. So, at this very moment, I have thought, when I first watched this replay, I thought that at this very moment, the Gas won't have anything to do. Because as we all might see, the light tank is trying to scout, but most of the scouting is done in this part of the map. He isn't really like running across this field, trying to spot the TDs positioned over here or anything like that. There's just one medium over here. Still though, the light tank is not just trying to spot around this area. He's just staying over here, keeping it safe, which is kind of decent idea because of the fact that he has only 80% of his hit points remaining, meaning that one shell from pretty much anyone and he is dead. Yeah, just as I said that the IS-2 finish him off. In this very moment, the Panzer M10 probably didn't expect you to push from behind this corner, and that means that he wasn't really aiming his gun anywhere close at you, so he went down without any fighting. Right now, oh yeah, there's the Oni, the unspotted Oni, bombing you with those high explosives. The Oni probably doesn't have a single idea about how the angling works and decided to angle his armor by literally just pointing it directly towards you, allowing you to easily penetrate his frontal plate. The Oni has ridiculously strong armor, and even though that our hero at this point is firing premium rounds because he ran out of APs, like the standard AP rounds, in my opinion, the Oni would probably be able to bounce a couple of those shells. Actually, most of the shells you would fire at him. So there is a Ferdinand, which is quite a heavily armored tank. The problem is that the Ferdinand still has like 200 armor frontally, meaning that if you hit him pretty much anywhere with your premium rounds, you are going to penetrate. You don't even have to aim for those sweet cheeks that the Ferdinand has. So come on, another shell into him. The Ferdinand actually doesn't have the top gun, which means that this should be an easy fight. He shouldn't be able to penetrate your upper plate, he shouldn't be able to penetrate your turret. Obviously, there is a teeny weeny little bit of a chance that he will be actually able to penetrate it, but yeah, we all know how the World of Tanks works, so there's always a chance that an enemy will somehow miraculously penetrate your tank. Alright? Still though, in this kind of a situation, it's quite unlikely that Ferdinand will be able to penetrate you, so he kind of decided to fire high explosive at you. And sort of in retaliation, you decide to fire high explosives at the enemies as well. More precisely, you decide to fire a high explosive at the Scorpion G over there. There we go, you're back to the APCR, firing at the Ferdinand, one last shell, and he's dead. There we go, he is dead. You are coming from behind this tiny little low ground sort of a thing, ridgeline. Because the Scorpion G is over dead. There are only 2 enemy tanks remaining, one of which is the IS-2, which shouldn't be able to kill you, and the second one is the T28 HTC. The T28 HTC could be actually quite dangerous, but considering the fact that he has absolutely no way of actually hitting you. Well, I said that the IS-2 shouldn't be able to kill you, but he somehow managed to hit you, and hit you again. If that shell penetrated, you probably wouldn't be dead, but you would be at only 100 hit points remaining. You still wouldn't die though, so you still would be able to kill that T20 HEC, which is the last remaining enemy player. Right now it's pretty much as a hunt for the T28. Here you can see your platoon mate that you invited earlier on in this battle is trying to rush to spot him, probably try to get you the Brothers in Arms medal, because as we might see, he has 2 kills, you have 6 kills, so if he will be able to get himself a third kill, you will have Brothers in Arms. Oh yeah, here we go, you finish him off, probably because of the fact that you were not really too scared, but you probably thought that a P43 Tear is going to take that kill and is not going to leave it to the T43. So yeah, you decided to take it. It's kind of understandable. Still though, this is not gonna be end of this video. So let's just go to the stats, alright? Alright, and in the stats we are, where we can instantly see how good of a game this was, because the guy was able to get himself 11 medals in total, 6 of which were the less rare ones, and 5 of which were the bit more rare ones, especially the patrol duty, not petrol duty, he's not some kind of an American, it's patrol duty, that he was able to get himself with a heavy tank, which is kind of surprising, but on the other hand he was able to spot 3000 damage, which is quite remarkably high considering the fact that he was once again playing a heavy tank, albeit at Cearnarvon, so that's kind of, yeah, it's quite a bit of a mobile heavy. It's still a heavy tank, so it's kind of rare to see the patrol duty. Why am I saying patrol duty constantly? Still, he was also capable of getting himself steel medal, which is not all that rare, high caliber, tank sniper, and a top gun. This is kind of surprising, like, seriously, if you look at these medals. He was a light tank, he was a heavy tank, and he was a TD at the same freaking time. Jesus. We could also say that he theoretically were also in artillery, because RTs are kind of known for having literally all of the kills of your team, but yeah, you were pretty much 3 classes at the same time. This just shows how ridiculously powerful the Cearnarvon is. So though, if we look into the team score, we can see that you absolutely carried the hell out of your team. 2545 experience, just look at this. Look at this. Oh, look at this. This is even better. You get a premium, which means that you got about 50% more, so you in total had 4,000 experience for this game, and plus that, a reward for the first victory of the day, times 5. So you were able to get yourself 20,000 experience for a single game. Absolutely amazing. You also didn't lose any money at all. You actually gained 40,000 for this game. And even if you didn't have the premium account, you would still only lose 8,000. Well, only lose. This thing is quite wasteful if it comes to overall credits and everything like that. I'm not talking about the fact that you were like shooting out some of the premiums. If I'm correct, you should like 10 premium rounds, which is not all that much. Still though, this thing has high DPM, which means it's pretty much just, it's pretty much just shitting out all of the credits to deal some, it is wasting credits at a ridiculous pace. In team score, we may also see that you were able to deal 8,849 damage, get also 7 kills and 10 medals? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is the hand of... Wait. This doesn't make much sense to me. That doesn't matter now. Still though, this was an absolutely amazing replay. I love watching it, I love commentating it, and hope you did as well. Still though, hope you enjoyed this video as well, and I hope that I'll see you next time. Bye.